colder Friday with a chance of snow by the end of the day. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
Finally, something you can shout across the room that won't start an argument.
Alexa, tell your smart speaker to play
97.5 and 1240 KFH. Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH Wichita. KNSS HD2 Clearwater, an Odyssey sports station.
Hey, Wichita, it's Jacob Albrock. Stay right there for the latest breaking in sports talk. It's Sports Daily coming up next, exclusively on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
This is Brian Weber filling in for Jim Rome with the Rome Report. While it's a new year, one thing hasn't changed in the early stages of 2026. The NFL remains as wide open as we've ever seen. It was clear when the Chiefs dynasty hit the wall during the regular season, we could be on the brink of massive change in the league we care the most about. Although Eagles fans would rightly point out their team has a real chance of winning their second straight Super Bowl in part because of unprecedented parity. So as we enter a postseason with no Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, or Lamar Jackson, will this finally be the year that Josh Allen breaks through? Are young QBs like Bo Nix or Drake May poised to rise to the top? Or could Matthew Stafford pick up a second ring to solidify his standing as a future Hall of Famer? Whatever happens to come next, if we've learned anything during this wild season, it is to expect the unexpected. So buckle up. I'm Brian Weber.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
Trying something new or making player picks for the first time can be hard, but on Prize Picks, it always feels good to be right. Start the new year right with Prize Picks. Just pick 2 to 6 players, pick more or less on their stat projections, and submit your lineup to play. Download the Prize Picks app today, use the code ROME, and get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code ROME on Prize Picks to get $50 in bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH, this is Sports Daily.
Aloha, Mr. Howard.
Hey, good morning to you, everybody. Staying up late, I would imagine, watching a little hoops on a Tuesday night. We're glad to be here with you on a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. It's an interesting Wednesday. We have a lot to talk about. KU with an interesting, exciting, head-scratching win last night against TCU. We'll get into all of it, including sound from Bill Self after the game, because you guessed it, there were Darren Peterson, wrinkles, additions to the interesting story that has been the beginning of his what should be a short college career. But we'll get into all of it as KU knocks off TCU in overtime, 104-100. So we'll have that for you. We'll get you ready for Shocker and K-State basketball. Shreyas Laddha, our KU insider, will be in to help us with the Jayhawks as well. The transfer portal in college football has been interesting thus far. A lot of movement, a lot of players flipping around. Are we feeling good about anything K-State's doing right now? We'll talk about all that as well. And one of the bigger surprises we've seen in a while in the NFL coaching carousel comes later in the day yesterday. We'll discuss John Harbaugh's firing as well. It's all coming up for you here. What's on Tap? Brought to you by Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring chili for a limited time. Here, hearty beef, no bean chili, is perfect for lunch and now available at all 3 WBC locations. East, West, Historic Delano, Wichita Brewing Company, pizza and beer made here. TJ, good morning. How are you? Well, you don't have your audio there, TJ. We'll tell you that we have Max Power in there producing, 869-1240. We'll tell you that you can reach out to the show on our video feeds that are at Facebook, YouTube, and X. You can also find us on 12 News Connected, which we always appreciate. You can find us on the Odyssey app, which we always appreciate. You can actually get in touch with us through the Odyssey app. If you're listening to us on the app, if you're listening to us, even if you're listening to us in podcast form and you want to make a point, you can do that. We can get it. You just hit that little microphone button and it'll send us a voice message. And Max has access to those and he can send it back. So we have all of those ways for you to get in touch with us here on the show as we get ready for a big day here, because the topics are plentiful after that KU game last night, 104-100. It's all more interesting than just a comeback KU win, which it was, and it was a big comeback KU win. Make no mistake about it. Darren Peterson, though, checked out of the game very late at a key moment, as he typically does. And everybody's freaking, then was able to return to hit the final 3 free throws to come and send the game into overtime. He did not play in overtime. There is so much to dig into in that game, TJ. But before we get to a full segment on it after the break here, welcome to this experience. If you're new to this, if you're not, this is just kind of par of the course to what this has been like this year.
The only thing that can make it crazier is that my mic cuts out on me in the opening segment of a Hawaiian shirt Wednesday. I'm sorry to take the headline away from that 30 seconds into the show. I would wager to bet that last night was the biggest chapter that we've seen so far in the Darren Peterson saga because of the wildness that it was. I mean, that was, it's not the first one, but this is a national televised game, the late primetime window on ESPN, leading into SportsCenter. And you see him, do what has happened. You see the play where he takes himself out and the ball goes by his head is kind of the epitome of what we've seen so far throughout this saga. And then to cap it off, he comes back and ties the game up to send it into overtime. It was really the microcosm of the entire situation that we saw on display last night. And the part that I want to talk to Shreyas about is that it's maddening that if you look up Darren Peterson on social media, nobody's talking. KU fans are talking. KU fans are talking about his availability issues. Everybody else in the country is saying, oh my God, you see how good this guy is at basketball?
Being a part of KU conversations with KU people has been a whole experience this year. And I get it, because it's been an experience for anybody that follows along closely. Like, what are we supposed to do with this? Like, I knew after last night, I can tell you with like the wide ranging emotions of all of this. You have it all. And I think that, even some of us here have been there. Are they better without him? Which I think is not true. They should shut him down, which I don't think is the answer either. But they were able to he checked out. They were down 9, I think, or whatever it was. And they were able to come back. But are they even within 9 if he doesn't score 32 for them? So I think that, I love the discussion, because I think it's one of the more interesting conversations we've ever had. But within that game last night, it was the wide ranging, shut him down. They're better without him. All of it within a game is happening.
That's the biggest thing that I can say about it is if there wasn't 3 free throws made to send it into overtime by Darren Peterson, the conversation at 7 a.m. the next morning would be a lot different. I think maybe not from us.
I think it's the conversation either way, because you can't be of the camp of like, oh, he's too hard to deal with, they need to shut him down. But because he hit 3 free throws at the end of the game, okay, never mind. Like, you either think that or you don't.
I'm just saying it changes the taste in your mouth a lot. Way that
they won the game. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, like if the game would have ended and they lost by 16 points and he took himself out with 2.5 minutes to go, the conversations would be a lot more of like, man, like, I don't know, like, what are we doing here, And I mean, Scott Pollard is on Twitter calling out Darren Peterson. Like, we've reached that point.
What were they down when he came out? He came out around 2 minutes.
It was 9. Yeah.
9, right? So they started. That's the other misnomer I think this morning, is that as soon as he came off the floor, they came back. No, they were coming back when he was on the floor.
They rattled off a 9-0 run as soon as he got off the floor.
Right, correct. They finished off the run, but they started the run with him on the floor. What I don't think is fair this morning is to say as soon as he came out of the game, KU got really good last night, which is what people are trying to do. Like, that's not true. And he scored 32 points in 32 minutes. KU doesn't win that game if he doesn't play. That's where I think the correct answer is to just figure out how to use him when you've got him. And again, we said this yesterday. That is not an easy thing to do or to even comprehend, because it means KU's kind of got to be two different teams. But what if they don't have to be two different teams? That, I think, is you should go into coaching, Jacob. Well, no, that's it. Listen, we made this very clear yesterday. It will be one, if Bill Self can figure this out, it'll be one of his great coaching achievements. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not even saying they're going to do it. I'm just saying if they can, that creates the best version of KU. And Bill Self, and we'll play this for you on the other side. Bill Self basically said that last night. Like, everybody's still trying to figure out how to do this thing. So but I think it's a little silly to say, oh, just don't even deal with him. They're better without him. Because I don't think that's true at all. I think he's as gifted a college basketball player as we've ever seen. Let's discuss it. We're right up against it. We got a full segment on this. We'll get you some of the Bill Self audio after the game. It's all coming for you here on Sports Daily. Shreyas Laddha in later to discuss as well. KU, though, gets the overtime win. What a wild experience that was last night. We'll talk about it more next.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
310-1 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
we investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily is on KFH.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Sports Daily here. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland. Glad to be with you. Thanks to Prairie Fire Coffee for keeping us fueled up. We needed it this morning. KU kept us up late with an overtime game on an 8 o'clock tip. But it's worth it. It's worth it. It's if you're a KU fan, it was especially worth it. If you're a college basketball fan, you got to see an amazing comeback in one of the sport's great venues in great environments. And if you're an observer of all this, just curiously as hell, like I am, it's another interesting chapter in this season. I'll say this at the surface, because I talk to a lot of KU fans because we've lived here now, and you just know a bunch. Like the range of emotions on this team is wide. It's as wide as I can remember. I would tell you that this team is more fun than the last couple of years. I don't know if their floor is as high. Their ceiling certainly feels much higher. And it's been a pretty interesting experience this year. I think it's a team that has a real chance, TJ, if they can figure out some really difficult and complicated things, that'll be able to hang with anybody. But I also don't want to overreact. I mean, I want to overreact to the comeback and how awesome it was. I don't want to overreact to the fact that it was a 4-point home win against TCU either. Like, this doesn't mean all right, KU's going on to a natty. Like, that was a team they were pretty heavily favored against, and TCU's not bad, but there's a 4-point win at home against TCU. Like, okay.
I mean, they're 6-point favorites. What do you weren't 20-point favorites?
Well, but I'm talking about if you look in the metrics. I mean, TCU's down in the 50s.
I mean, yeah, I think that's a game that you should win.
When you start working through the Big 12, TCU at home is not going to be the most
correct. There's going to be harder games for sure.
Most difficult games that you play this year. TCU, I think, is actually pretty impressive. I thought that against Baylor, it was kind of up at the same time on Saturday. Like, they're physical. They've got some really interesting players. I think they've got a chance to be very noisy in the Big 12, but that's not the same as going on the road to Houston or going on the road really anywhere, quite frankly, in the conference. So a lot to figure out still with KU, but it's a hell of a win. It's a hell of a comeback, and it comes in some really interesting fashion. And I don't know what happened. And, kind of to open up the second half there were 2 stretches of the game where KU just didn't look very good at all. And there were 2 stretches of the game where they looked fantastic. And for the Darren Peterson piece, he was kind of a part of both, right? Like he was a part of the comeback at the end of the first half. He was a part of the beginning of the comeback in the second half. So what I don't like is this team is better without him. I think what we have is some of the other players. I don't know if it's gaining confidence or the gaining responsibility, Melvin Council especially. Like I think the ticket is to figure out how do you unlock Melvin Council with Peterson on the floor.
I know that's a hard ask to do, but like that, what's the saying? The parts are greater than the sum, or something of that nature.
Yeah.
They have basically the way you break down KU is they have 2 big parts, and they can't fit 2 squares into the circle hole. You know what I mean?
Offensively, yes.
Yes, exactly. And so I don't know. Like I keep going back and forth on this of like, are they going to be good enough? Like, if they keep playing this song and dance, what is the ceiling with what they're doing right now? If they shut him down, what is the ceiling with that? Because I honestly think if Darren Peterson didn't play another minute, I think that the KU team is good enough to make a Sweet 16.
Ooh.
I think
they could be. They could be. I think that
But
they
then,
can be, for sure.
In the same breath, like I think that the Darren Peterson-less Jayhawks have, a lower ceiling and a higher floor, and the Darren Peterson Jayhawks have a lower floor and a higher ceiling.
Yeah, I agree with that. How do you, though, and this again, because it's not an easy test, but they have half a season still to do it. How do you just raise the floor with Peterson out there, right? We know how high the ceiling is. Here's what's interesting to me too, and we'll get to Bill Self's comments on this in a second because he agrees, by the way. Like Peterson is such a gifted scorer. We can all see that. But it's not like his scoring is like PJ Haggerty's scoring. Right? Like Peterson could be an efficient scorer. And he wasn't all that efficient last night, but we've seen him score without taking a ton of shots. So I think the challenge really comes right now to Melvin Council, because Peterson's also, in the time that we've seen him play, a great facilitator. And I also don't want to just gloss over the fact that unless I'm misremembering the game against UCF started putting it to KU when Peterson left the game. So, like, it's not like it's the same thing every time. It's all over the map, which to me makes it even more difficult to try and get a grasp of. There are times when Peterson is on the floor where KU is clearly better, and then when he leaves, the other team puts it to him. There have been times this year where they have played better without him on the floor. Like, it's been everything. It's been everything. And it's been everything like recently. It's been everything within single games. So I think trying to oversimplify it too much to say, just shut him down or get rid of him or don't get rid of him, play him all the time. Like, it's got to be a combination of both, which it's going to take till the end of the year to see if they can get this right. Like I at this point, assuming anything other than Peterson's going to play and have to come out of games foolish, because that is exactly what we've seen every time he's on the floor. How is that not now the expectation?
Yeah.
It's probably going to happen at key moments in games, because the longer he plays, the more likely it is that he's got to come out.
I mean, there's a conversation to be had that, we sat here and talked about 20, 25 minutes, and he played 32. And then by the time he got to the 30th minute is when he finally had to come out of the game. He was good up until then, and then, had to take himself out of the game, basically. And so I don't know how you do it. It's an interesting conversation, and it's just an interesting thought. And this is kind of what Scott Pollard was bringing up of like, I understand he's like the best player in college basketball, and so there's a reason why you're letting him do what he's doing. If it was anybody else, you're not going to let him do that, though. And I think that's the part that's the most frustrating to fans.
See, and I think that's not correct at all. We're looking at this differently than we look at it for other players too. What if it was Flory Badunga? What if Flory Badunga was playing through a nagging injury and could only give you 25 minutes a game? You don't think they'd try to get 25 minutes a game out of Flory Badunga?
They would, but then I feel like at a point, if it doesn't happen, like if it happens every game still, like
better example. What if it's Flory Badunga, highly effective when he's out there, but he just can't stay out there? You think they'd just shut him down? Of course they wouldn't. We're putting Peterson we're asking them to do something with Peterson that we don't ask teams to do with any other player ever. Right? Like, not in basketball anyway. It's an injury that doesn't seem like it's like he's not like hurting himself or anything like that. It's strange. He's good when he's out there. And in my opinion, he makes them better when he's out there. But we want them to just not let him play because he's got an injury that he's willing to try to play through. I think that we don't ever ask a player of that. Like, we don't ever do that with other players. Players play through nagging injuries all the time. That's exactly what he's doing. He's playing through a nagging injury. And people are so aggravated at it, and I don't understand why. Figure out how to be better with him.
Devil's advocate is if he wasn't playing 25 minutes, he just wouldn't be playing at all. And what would fans' reaction be if he himself just decided, I don't want to play anymore?
I'm cramping, guys. I'm going to shut it down.
Oh, what a waste of money. Give us our money back. Why don't you give us our money back?
It's true. But like I my mind goes to the Joel Embiid situation at KU with Bill Self. Like, is it kind of the same thing? And they shut Joel Embiid down, did they not? If I'm remembering right.
I don't remember.
I don't either.
How much did Embiid have to say about that? Because I think a lot of times you do have camps that are like, whoa. Nope. This is not worth it for this young man. And that happens, and that's fine, because there is a lot on the line for these young people that most of us can't comprehend, quite frankly. So he's playing through an injury for Kansas. Like, to me, that's like I believe him that is cramping has to take him off. I wish it could be better timed, of course. But to me, I see a young guy who is in that camp of like, he could easily shut this down, and he's not doing it. And he's going out in a game and he's giving them 32 points in 32 minutes. I think the best solution is to figure out how to best use that. And that's what they're trying to do. And, for all the other players, like, I get it. Like, it's fun to just kind of sit and watch him play. But I also see him be a pretty good facilitator. And I think they can definitely do it better. I think here's the challenge for me. If you're Bill Self, there's no rhyme or reason to exactly when the flare-up happens. So it's hard to prepare for it, right? Like, it would be if the answer was as easy as, well, if we want him at the end of the game, like at 30 minutes, his legs are going to cramp up, right? So at 30 minutes, we'll just time out the 30 minutes. But sometimes it's 23, sometimes it's 27, sometimes it's 30, sometimes it's right at the end of the game and he can't do it. Like, let's play you Bill Self's audio, because this is really interesting. And, I think we get, because of the excitement and how can you be in a bad mood when your team comes back like that, I think we get some real honesty from Bill Self last night. Max has that for us. Max, let's play that and let's let people listen to what Bill Self had to say after the game.
Was I thinking if we were down 3 when he went out, I could have put him back in? Yeah. But the bottom line is, he started the cramping, or he felt it coming on. And so that was his decision to come out, and he wouldn't have come out, obviously, unless he had to. But I think for 5 seconds, he could suck it up. And we didn't execute it great, but didn't execute it bad, and got the 3 free throws. But even after he made the free throws, he said, okay, get me out. He's a special talent, but we don't know how to play with him yet. And he doesn't know how to play with the others yet. There's a lot of things that we need to be until we become that. And that is tougher, harder, faster. And we weren't any of those things tonight until the very end.
I think it's perfect. I think he has 100% honesty, and he's right. The issues last night weren't Darren Peterson. There was that the defense sucked too much of that game. For one of the top defenses in the country, by the way, against a not that good offense. Like, that was the issue last night.
My biggest takeaway from what he said last night is, like, where were you thinking about? Like, this reminded me, this is a stupid example, but last year's Pop-Tarts Bowl, whatever Cam Ward played in that game, and he played in the first half and then said, all right, I'm not going to play in the second half. I'm done. Like, I didn't want to play. Like, I'm just going to play in the first half and then opt out of the second half. And then they got it down to a one-possession game where he could have driven the field and given his team the lead. And he said, no, I'm not playing, guys. I'm not going to the game. And, like, my mind last night was sitting there thinking about, it's a 3-point game. Are they going to put Darren Peterson back in the game, or is he going to say he doesn't want to go back in? And, like, did your brain think about the fact that he could go back in the game, or were you done with him for the night? What do you think?
No, I was watching him. Well, let me give that answer as honestly as I can. So I thought it was a possibility that he could come back out on a possession. The broadcast did a really nice job of continuing to bring that point up and remind us, like, he could come back in and show him on the bit, and he was kind of working those wraps, which are a little bit of a new development. Maybe that'll help get it up to 30-ish minutes. But, he would kind of start to take them off like he wanted to try it. And then obviously the game situation became perfect for, even if he was cramped, like on one play, like you can try to
cross half court. Yeah.
Right. So it's an inbound play where they have 3 seconds. Like, he just has to be able to get a shot up. I think that there are too many circumstances, and look, it's a product of how good he is. I think we're treating him, and we should, because he's incredible, but we're treating the situation a little differently than we would. Like, for Bill Self to say, we've got to figure out how to play with him and the other guys, and he's a freshman. That's always the case for freshmen, right? Like, it's January 7th. We haven't even played half a season of his freshman season, and he's played in like 9 games. Of course, they still have to figure out how to play with him. He's a freshman, and that none of that part is unusual to me. It's the unusual part is obviously the timing of the cramps. He's playing through the injury. He's injured. He's playing through the injury. He's playing really well through the injury when he's out there, but because it limits him, everybody else has to figure out, okay, how do we do this? And they have some amazing parts to this team. You said Sweet 16 if he's not there. Yeah, I could probably see it, but it'd be tough. I think if they figure it out when he's there, if you told me that you're getting 27 minutes a game from him, I would say their ceiling is a national championship, right? Like, I think that's their ceiling if you can get 27 minutes a game. The challenge will be, okay, how do you get 27 minutes a game? How do you best get 27 minutes a game? And I don't know why there's any reason people think that Melvin Council can't be great at the same time Darren Peterson is great. Of course that can be true. Like, Flory Badunga doesn't need shot volume. They don't need shot volume from anybody else on the floor.
It's true.
So if it's an offense where the volume's coming primarily through Council and Peterson, that's totally normal and fine for college basketball. Great. Yeah. That's wonderful. Houston just went to a national championship. I'm not sure more than 3 guys ever took a shot for that team.
Okay. I don't think more than 3 guys ever played for that team.
Right? Like, we're treating this differently because he's so good, and it has to be all or nothing. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. It can just be what it is. How do they best utilize the time he's on the floor and the time he's not on the floor? What I want to know is, can they be, and I'll ask Shreyas this, like, can they be the best defensive version of themselves when he is on the floor? That's what I want to know. Like, that's my biggest question. I know they can generate the offense. Council has to be confident both when he's off the floor and on the floor. That part seems easier to me. Can they be the level of defense that's a top defense in the country when Peterson's out there? Because I think that's the next development of this team. Last night's problem was not Peterson. It wasn't when Peterson was on the floor, off the floor. Is that they couldn't stop TCU. TCU was getting way too many easy buckets. That's not a Peterson issue. That's a I don't know what they were thinking issue at their first home game in Big 12 play.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw this last night. I got to bring this up before our segment's over here. Matt Norlander, the CBS Sports national college basketball guy, tweeted out last night the video of Kevin Nash, the wrestler, in the wheelchair with the cast on. Is that Darren Peterson coming back in the game?
My favorite joke was, it was the fake cramp play from Bill Self. Brilliant, right? Like, he had him right where he wanted him.
Hook, line, and sinker. Go put those wraps on your leg. We've been building this up all year for the game against TCU.
We've been working on this since October. Yeah. But yeah, it's perfect. It was perfect. And he did, I don't know what, I mean, we're all just like, he did not look comfortable to me when he came back in the game at all. And honestly, like if he can, I think the circumstances of him coming out and the optics of it last night sucked. Most of the time it's a little easier to swallow. It sucked optically last night.
Watch the ball go out of bounds behind his head. Yeah.
But at the same time, like if I'm trying to be like, okay, how does that happen? And then like, if you've got a cramp, like we all know what that feels like.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. I got to bring this up with the minute we have left. Yesterday, we talked about working out, Jacob. Yesterday, I did a workout and I cramped up so bad, I had to drop to the floor. And I was like, I feel like I'm getting sympathy pains right now.
Cramping hurts. The good news about cramping is it stops, right? Like that's the beauty of a cramp. So I'm trying to like think about watching it. Like, I mean, if it started right then and there, like that would be my reaction to like, oh, there it is. Like, gotta go. I don't know how effective you can be with a cramped leg to like finish out the play. So that's the stuff though that they've got to work on. That's the stuff that he's got to work on. Where is the moment, like, you know what? I probably need to come out right now. I could be cramping. It's crazy. It is a crazy story and a fascinating story. And at the end of the day, this team is way more fun to watch than the team of the last 2 years. That's where I just keep circling.
I want to see the hypothetical line between the Peterson-less Jayhawks this year and the team last year.
The Peterson-less Jayhawks? That'd be a good line. All right, we'll come back. We'll discuss more of this. Shreyas Laddha will be in a little later. Let's talk about John Harbaugh. I didn't see that coming. Next on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Is on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Glad to be here with you on Sports Daily. It is it's a fun day on the show, not just because it's Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday, of course, always fun on the show. But we've got some pretty interesting topics to be quite honest with you, between the KU comeback last night, the trying to make sense of the Darren Peterson time in Kansas, the part of the NFL season that gets pretty interesting. Normally got a whole lot interesting yesterday, and we've got the transfer portal, love it or hate it, is eventful. John Harbaugh's firing is as surprising a coaching decision, I think, as I can remember. I'm trying to remember if there's been another one quite as jarring as like Andy Reid in Philadelphia. This, to me, by the way, feels exactly like when that happened. A coach who the success is unquestioned. The difference is Harbaugh has a Super Bowl, of course, but where you're getting close and you're not putting it over the edge, and this was a bad year. Like, if they're gonna do it, probably this would have been the year for the Ravens, because the chances are high that the Ravens are right back in it next year, because that's what we always see with them. So if they felt like a change was needed, okay. And initially, it's like, the Ravens are idiots. They're going to regret this forever. But I will say that I don't think the Eagles regret letting go of Andy Reid, right? They've won 2 Super Bowls since then. They've been to 3. They got better, and he got better, and it was the greatest thing to ever happen to the Chiefs. I think there's a pretty good I think there's at least a chance. Let's say it that way. Whoever gets John Harbaugh got a gift from the heavens in coaching. And also, maybe he's not the greatest fit for this particular group. Maybe a time for change was there, and this could be the thing that helps him get it over. I think that could be true.
Yeah.
Man, it's hard to swallow. If I'm a Ravens fan, it's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, why? What's going on here?
There was somebody I saw said something. It was after the Stefanski firing, but it same applies for John Harbaugh, even more so. Of nothing signifies that it was a good firing quite like every opening wanting to call him and hire him as the next head coach. You know what I mean? Like, Did you see the report yesterday that Schefter said that there were 7 NFL teams that reached out within the first 45 minutes, and there's only 6 openings outside of the Ravens. So somebody
now, we don't know if they all
reached
out for him to be their head coach. But
true. True. Yeah, I don't know. The other thing too, I don't know if you saw this. Is funny nugget of some NFL meme page on X made a graphic of the Tyler Luke missed field goal, and it was the picture of the uprights, and it was if the ball went here or here, John Harbaugh got fired. If the ball goes here, Mike Tomlin was getting fired.
Steelers. Chaos. There's a section of Steeler fans. The noise has been a lot louder for Mike. I don't remember ever hearing anybody say John Harbaugh needs to be fired.
Yeah.
And Ian Rappaport had a segment yesterday where he kind of, I think, took people, and I'm reading, so forgive me. I'm reading what Rappaport reported on television as somebody is summating it. I have not watched the segment yet, just to be perfectly honest with people. But the gist of it is that he wanted to just kind of bring everything back. I think some of the players, including Lamar Jackson, weren't on the same page with that strategy. And so for an organization that's really, really smart, I think that they probably could see, like, we have a rift here. Like, you've got, team leadership that's saying this isn't good enough. You've got a coach who's been so good at what he's done for a long time that's saying, no, this is. So I get it. Now, I mean, you see that stuff and it kind of makes sense. And by the way, Baltimore becomes the most attractive job on the market. Whatever happens, I don't know what Derrick Henry's future is, but whatever it is with Lamar Jackson there and some of the pieces they have in place, like, Baltimore instantly becomes the best job to me. So you've got that aspect of it. Baltimore's going to be able to get a really good coach, and they have a history of making really good decisions. What name did you say?
Kevin Stefanski to Baltimore?
That'd be interesting. Just a coach swap.
That has to be the odds-on favorite. Yeah.
Would be a coach swap there. Yeah. I mean, you could see something like that. You could see anything because it's the best job on the market. John Harbaugh also becomes the best coach on the market. It's like a really strange thing. But again, like, I don't know that we've seen it since Andy Reid, where this was like Andy Reid got hired immediately. And so will John Harbaugh, if that's what John Harbaugh wants to do. So John Harbaugh can pick his spot, probably the Giants, I would say. I think the Browns would be the most fun, but it'll probably be the Giants because it's an organization with a lot of stability. And, if you're a coach, you maybe have your quarterback there, but you have enough talent. Like, it's probably going to be the Giants.
Wouldn't you be jacked as a Giants fan to go from all the coaches you've had to John Harbaugh?
I mean, and look, they gave Dable a long time. That's what you got to look at that stuff too. If you're Harbaugh, like, the Raiders just fired Pete Carroll after a year. Nobody's touching that with a 10-foot pole. That's going to be some new assistant or something. I heard on the Dan Patrick show driving into work yesterday, I think the Raiders are paying like $50 million for guys not to coach next year on just like buyouts of contracts. Like, they don't know what the hell they're doing. John Harbaugh's not going there. The Giants are an organization, if nothing else, of some stability. They typically give their coaches some time to figure it out, right? And whether it works or doesn't work. So that to me makes the most sense. And then
I say Giants or Falcons or Cardinals.
The Falcons are interesting too. The Falcons play in a division that is winnable. There's the Giants, though, is as much as I dislike them. That's a cherished job, I think. Parcells and Coughlin, and like they've had there's some history there with that job for sure. Playing in New York, it's the same region of the country he currently lives. I don't know how much that matters to him. He's old enough now where that probably doesn't matter that much. I think you just got to look at it at the roster and say, who gives us our best chance to go win a Super Bowl? The Giants probably have the biggest collection of good players of the teams, whether you believe in Jackson Dart or not. But the Falcons or the Cardinals, would be the next closest to that. But Harbaugh's been an unbelievable coach. He's won 61% of his games over 18 years. That's hard to do. He's won countless divisions. He's won a Super Bowl. They're in the playoffs a lot. And they're just always good. Like that stability. It reminds me of Andy Reid, right? They're just always good. Like you can just count on it. Their bad year this year was 8-9, not 2-14. It was 8-9. Was a bad year for them. There are a lot of teams and franchises across the league that would love their bad years to be 8-9, right?
Yep.
He won't have Lamar Jackson, but he hasn't always had Lamar Jackson. He won his Super Bowl with Joe Flacco. So I think he becomes the top guy, and we just don't see this kind of thing happen all that often in the league. And somebody's going to be handed a golden gift, and it'll be John Harbaugh. And maybe the Ravens will end up better for it too, which my immediate reaction yesterday was not that. It was they're stupid. I can't believe they did this. When I saw that maybe there was a rift, not a rift, but a disagreement about the future between he and Star, then it's like, okay, well, if it's not going to work, like you're banking on Lamar Jackson. You're not, like, that's to me a pretty easy decision as an organization. Like you tail that.
Yeah, you do. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting carousel. I don't know where everybody's going to end up in all this stuff, but to see the big fish like that get dropped into the pond is going to shake everything up for sure. I think that there is going to be a lot of, I've seen a lot of retread rumor, like Robert Sala's got an interview, and Matt Nagy obviously is one of them, and then Harbaugh, and then Stefanski. I mean, that's 4 or 5 former head coaches right there for 6 openings. Like it may be a lot of retread rather than up and coming.
It usually is. It usually is a lot of retread in the league. The league is full of trends. It's either, for 2 years, it'll be Sean Payton. I mean, not Sean Payton, Sean McVay assistants, because that's what's cute and trendy. Like or it'll be retreads, or it'll be, and a lot of the time, as annoying as the retreads can be, I mean, it works a lot of time. John Harbaugh's working, Sean Payton's working. I'm going to guess retread is the trend because retread has seen recent success. So everyone that's watching some of these old guys go to new places and do well, they'll ignore the fact that it didn't work with Pete Carroll or Raheem Morris or some of the other retreads. And they'll say, well, yeah, let's go hire Jason Garrett. Made the joke yesterday, Titans. Jason Garrett and Matt Nagy are your top candidates?
Is that a truthful thing?
Yes. My joke was, is Nico Harrison running the Titans? Like, how can those be your top? Like, you better.
Who's running the Titan? Former Chiefs assistant GM Mike Marganzi.
No, I didn't know that.
That's why they want to interview Spags and Nagy.
But okay, and that's nothing against Garrett or Nagy, but you've got a clean slate there. Like, take a shot, shoot your shot. Like, those are two of the most. Again, I don't mean offense because they could still be good somewhere, but those are two of the most boring candidate names I can think of. Like, if you gave me a list and said, I want you to give me the most boring coaching hire you could make, somewhere in my top 5 to 10 would be Jason Garrett and Matt Nagy. Somewhere in there.
Jason Garrett is an interesting hire just because it's like he's still a name that can. When's the last time he was a head coach? A decade ago?
So. Didn't Philip? Did you tell him? Was this a joke? Did I hear Philip Rivers?
Yeah, he's actually gonna. He there's rumors that he's gonna get interviews.
Hell yes, let's
That'd be
go.
Insane.
Be awesome.
First player ever to play in a game the year before he was a head coach. That'd be nuts.
We see the NBA do this with players all the time. Major League Baseball's been doing it a lot lately too. Like, just get straight to the. Why not? Like, if you can either smart enough to do it or you're not. Philip Rivers has been coaching other places too. It's not like he's
high school
coached anything. That's fine. Joey McGuire was a high school coach.
It's true.
Right?
I made the joke that if he gets hired places, that if I was a color commentator, I would say the stupidest jokes of all time about, like, this is the biggest game Philip Rivers has coached in since that game against South Central last year at homecoming.
Yeah. Yeah. You and that's pretty good. At least Matt Ryan it's trying to be a front office, and he's trying to pull the Tom Brady.
I saw a joke about that I think it was Schefter or Rappaport said something that he's considered widely the favorite to land the newly coined president of football operations. And it's like, you mean the job they created for him? He's the favorite for? Yeah.
Yeah. It's but I think it's actually pretty interesting to see guys go. Prime is a good example of taking a shot on a guy who hasn't had a ton of time actually coaching and be really successful with it. But Phillip Rivers has coached, right? Like, you've got assistants with you. It's not like you're the only member of a staff. Like, there are parts you're going to have to get up to speed on, but quarterbacks know the game as much as anybody. From like, they got to know what everybody does. So when you just think about like a strategy or a game plan, quarterback makes a lot of sense. There's just a lot of drama to deal with as a head coach. Are you ready for that? I suppose a player who's played recently would be equipped for that better than Andy Reid, who's 3 generations older than the current players, I guess. It's an interesting idea. I'll tell you, I'm far more interested in Phillip Rivers as a candidate than I am Jason Garrett. What did Jason Garrett ever do? He was a backup quarterback.
Here, let me drop this nuke before the commercial break. Travis Kelce on possibly coming back for another season on new heights. If my body can heal up, rest up, and I feel confident I can go out there and give another 18, 20-week run, I think I would do it in a heartbeat.
All right, let's come back and talk about that next on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 83-1001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH, this is Sports Daily.
Aloha, Mr. Hyde.
Happy Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday to those that participate in the fun. Glad to be here with you. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland, another hour here on Sports Daily. Shreyas Laddha will join us a little bit later. We've got some Travis Kelce news to get to here as well. Plenty to talk about on a Wednesday. It's all what's on tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, now featuring the Dub event venue at WBC Delano. Perfect for graduation parties, meetings, and reunions. Visit www.wichitabrew.com to begin your booking at the Dub event venue at WBC Delano, where groups gather. KU 104-100 overtime winners against TCU, a furious second half comeback to get that thing into overtime. All the drama of Darren Peterson on and off the floor. We'll get to all of it with Shreyas Laddha. I sent this to you, TJ. I didn't do this, but there was a point you get 5-1 on that comeback. Did you take it?
No.
Chicken?
Yes. I appreciate my dollars. I don't know if the last time I bet on a single
5 times more your dollars.
I don't know. I don't know the last time I put a single leg down that had odds better than like plus 200.
See, you used to be a let's hammer the money line now guy.
Now I just sit on my coattails and take my money lines.
Your maturity bores me.
Stupid
I didn't take that one either. Yeah, that'll change things, won't it? But that's why you make $5 and $10 bets, so you don't have to worry about it as much. I didn't take it either. I really did think about it. I looked it up just to be funny in a text thread, but I was like, man, 5-1. I was more interested in the plus 9.5. I'll be honest. I was like plus 9.5. Like they're probably getting this game within 10 points. I didn't take either of them. I just stuck with. I had them covering. I told you yesterday I didn't like that line. I was talked into it. I didn't. But that was so I was at that point. I'm like, I'll just leave it alone. But it brought up an interesting, like I bring that up because I'm seeing these stories. You bring up Travis Kelce and his return. I want to know what the odds are of his return. And then I'm like, where could you even find odds like that? And then it brings up this poly market. How much have you paid attention? Poly market?
It's ruining a lot.
So I was not aware of poly market until this Venezuela situation where somebody made whatever $400,000. But then I'm seeing this morning that poly market is now defining that not as an invasion. So maybe that win gets nullified, and like the people are just I can't believe they would do that. And I'm like, guys, what the hell even is poly market? Like they can do whatever they want.
Do people hear themselves talking if they're complaining about, bro, that's totally an invasion. Cash my bet, bro.
I know, right? And like, why are you trusting this software that even makes that a thing in the first place? It's totally arbitrary.
I can't believe it's legal. Like, honestly, like it's insane.
Thing.
And there's a weird loophole. There's a weird loophole around it. And sportsbooks don't like it, obviously. But like, I can't, like, it's crazy. Like, you can bet on elections, you can bet on everything with the loophole of saying that, like, it's predictive. It's the predictive market. Like, it's not like, and I don't know what that means, but like they were exploring. I don't know if they did it or not. I don't peruse the Polymarket apps, but like they were talking about like putting lines on like, will Jace Brown into the transfer portal at plus 200, and it's like, that is just asking for chaos.
It's
like,
horrible.
what?
Like and so my hope is we can nip this in the bud real quick. Now,
oh my God.
If you and I want to make a little side bet on something like that, that's the equivalent of what this is. They've basically built a company on people's dumb side bets.
Basically,
like,
but there can't be a house. That can't be legal.
It can't be illegal. No, it definitely cannot be legal to run as a business. But it did make me think. I was like, I wonder what the odds are of a Kelsey return. They'd probably have it. I don't even. I'm not.
I'm not going to look.
No, I'm not either. I legitimately wasn't even aware of this company until the Venezuela story.
It's crazy.
But I did just Google it, go old school. And apparently, the odds on wherever the different places that are doing them are about 67, anywhere from 67 to 80% retirement. But I wonder how old that is too, because, Google will just pull it out of old articles and stuff. So look, give us the quote again here. So you gave it to us right before we came on the break, and we'll spend a little more time with it in the next segment, but just put it all out there for people. So New Heights dropped when?
This morning, like 5 a.m.
So we got the preview clips yesterday, which is what we were perusing. I was trying to figure out how there was new stuff. So they just didn't put that in the previews. So then this morning we get this again.
And all the Taylor Swift accounts are watching it and tweeting out the most significant things, as it usually happens at 5:30 a.m. on Wednesdays, because they don't sleep. This morning, from this account, if my body can heal up, rest up, and I can feel confident that I can go out there and give it another 18 to 20, 21 week run, I think I would do it in a heartbeat. And he said would.
Yep.
That's the word.
So I called it 60-40 earlier this week. I think, to me, that moves me to 50-50 at worst.
What?
Right now.
I think it's like 80-20.
You think it leans more to the retirement?
Yes,
I've got to hear it
more.
I've got to go
I
listen
agree.
to it.
I haven't heard it either. But I mean,
but he's telling. So to me, it's, and the only reason I say it shifts it more toward, because that's what I've been feeling for a long time. Like, his brother retired because physically he felt like he couldn't do it anymore. I think the one thing that, and we did this with Andy Reid. We don't do it as much with Andy Reid anymore, but we had been, and we've done. It's the exact same thing. We just assume that they don't still love doing this more than anything, and I think that's the wrong assumption. Andy Reid, outside of his family, doesn't love anything more, and his faith doesn't love anything more than football. I'm not sure Travis Kelce, other than his family, which is growing, I get it. As good as he is and as interested he is so many other things in his life, I'm not sure why we're thinking he's more interested in anything other than football. Like, this dude loves football as much as any player's ever loved football. And he's 36 years old. He's not that old. It's always been a question of, can he still physically do it? He reinvented his body this offseason, right? Is he the same Kelce of 4 years ago, 5 years ago? No, but he's still one of the most productive tight ends in football. So I've always thought it was a little, until he says, like, I just don't want to do this anymore. I think he wants to still do it. So if it is just a question of physically, can he go through the recovery process? The other thing I think is true is he doesn't know yet. I do believe that. But I think there's a pretty good chance that if he feels good in a month, he's like, you know what? Let's go. Mahomes, how you feeling? Like, you can be back? Like, let's do this again. Why not? I'm having more fun doing this than anything else I'll ever do in my life. So why not do it another year?
It's interesting because we talk a lot about his stats and where he's gone from year to year. Where do you probably know them, but not off the top of your head exactly. How do you assess his 2024 to his 2025?
I think he was a better player in 2025. We can pull up his stats real quick.
He had 30 more receiving yards, but he had about 15 less receptions.
Yeah, I think he was a better player in 2025. I think in 2020, I think in 2024, they incorrectly had to lean on him more than they should have. I think in 2023, they incorrectly leaned on him more than they should have. Tight ends don't age well. Wide receivers don't age well. Tight ends really don't age well. And so, like, when you're talking about Kelce the last 3 years, really, it has been a less explosive Kelce for sure. I don't know that we noticed it quite as much in 2023 because they had to have it, right? Like they had to have it in 2023. That was the year that it was just like, just get Mahomes and Kelce to the playoffs and watch what happens. Remember, that was 2023. And it was true. 2024, another year older, they still, and this is what I think is so interesting about his potential return. Is Mahomes and the Chiefs coaching staff capable of giving Kelce a lesser role? Because every year it sounds like a good idea, and the rest of the offense isn't good enough for them to do that. Travis Kelce, 76 receptions in 2025, much healthier number, I think, for him. Could be even less. What they need out of Kelce is his connection to Mahomes, right? They don't, like, you don't design Kelce in for 90 catches. Let other younger guys take that kind of beating and workload. That doesn't need to be what Kelce does anymore.
I don't know.
And
it's interesting. I mean, this was the least amount.
Give me the 75 catches, right? For more yards than the 100 catches where it's just like they're just peppering him with targets because they can't do anything else. That's not a good sign. A good sign is they need him less, but he's still there.
I agree. I don't know. I mean, this is the least amount of receptions he's taken in his entire career since 2015, and it's the outside of last year, it was the lowest amount of receiving yards he's had ever. Outside of last year was the most, least ever. This was the second least ever.
And I think that's a good thing. I think that's I think that's a part of what enhances to me, like, the likelihood. And again, I'm 50-50 at best, but I think it makes it more likely that he comes back if it's like, hey, come back. But like the idea, at least, isn't going to be for you to come out and catch 100 balls this year. Can you be a great red zone threat, and can you help us pick up first downs, basically? Hell, you don't even have to play all the snaps. That's the pitch I'm making if I'm the Chiefs. Like, we were good with your production this year. Are you good with it? Like, we'll play you less snaps. Like, can you just come help us? Because we got Mahomes coming back from an injury. We don't know what Mahomes can do without you. Why don't you come back and help us figure it out? We'll talk about it next a little more in depth. It's Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems
Why are they hiding it?
and real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Get busy.
This is Sports Daily on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody, to Sports Daily. Happy Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. Thanks to Crestview Country Club. Boy, it feels like Hawaii a little bit outside right now. Great time to play golf. Be nice to have 36 holes to just pop on by and swing it. You can do that at Crestview Country Club. Give them a call. Ask them about all of their different memberships. Golf. Maybe you're not a golfer. Maybe you're a tennis player like my wife. She's certainly up there plenty. Lots of fun stuff to do there. And the best time of the year to join, they tell us, best deals you'll get all year are this time of year. So give them a call. Tell them we sent you from Sports Daily. And we appreciate Crestview Country Club support. All right,
Jacob, I got a golf nugget for you from Front Office Sports this morning. Exclusive report: Tiger Woods hosting a 300-person invite-only party for his 50th birthday at the Breakers in West Palm Beach. It has its own title sponsor. John Bon Jovi will be performing. Wear a touch of red for the dress code, and there'll be a Masters Champions dinner themed menu. Did you get an invite?
No, I didn't.
Will you be doing that for your 50th?
Do you think a Tiger Woods party would be fun?
I mean, probably.
Probably.
He was pretty nuts back in the day.
I don't know. He rarely cuts loose, at least in the open eye. So you wonder, like, is Tiger Woods fun to party with? What am I doing for my 50th?
Yeah. Are you hosting a 300-person party exclusive?
I'll tell you.
Crestview Country Club?
I'll tell you in a decade.
Okay.
I don't listen. I'm not afraid of a big party. That you want a 300-person party. That's basically my entire Christmas trip home every year. I mean, we're to the point now in our extended family where my oldest nephew is your age. The grandkid, he might be a little older than you, in fact. Like the grandkids now have significant others at the family events. Like we're getting dangerously close to great grandkid time. So like we go home for a party, like it's constantly 150, like just people everywhere. My wife, who's got a very small family, is like, it overwhelms her, but it's like one constant party. So no, I'm not afraid of a big party. Let's go. Bring it. Bring it, Tiger. I'll get, I don't know, may not be John Bon Jovi, but we can find somebody that can play guitar.
Monterey Jack.
Yeah, there you go. Happy birthday, Tiger, whenever that happens to be. 50? He's only 50?
That's what it says.
That's interesting. I thought he was older than that. Travis Kelce's not there yet. Go
ahead.
Kelce's 36. Everyone wants to know if he's going to retire. It becomes a much bigger story. I understand why. The Taylor Swift thing wouldn't be as big a story. It'd be a big football story. It'd be a big football story. Don't get me wrong. He's one of the best ever at his position. But I think it's taken on a new life because of the Swifties. And it has become a huge like pop culture story, which has to be annoying if you're Travis Kelce, especially if that is his sentiment of like, I just want to see if my body recovers. Like it's pretty simple. And I believe him too. Like, can he recover? Like he knows, like he'll have an extra month to do it. Again, why I'm kind of leaning back to 50-50. He's going to have an extra month of recovery before he would normally have to make this decision. He gets to take the next 3 or 4 weeks, which is longer than he ever gets, to feel good enough to do it again. I think the chances are pretty good. And then it gets into the Chiefs want that, right? Do Chiefs fans want that?
You think the chances are pretty good that he comes back?
Yeah. Yeah. If it's really a physical thing, which he said, on his New Heights podcast, that it's about recovering his body. If that's really the case and he has another month to recover and his workload, although it probably was still a bit too high, although I'm pretty comfortable with 75 catches, was less this year. So, the recovery itself should be a little bit easier. And he has more time to do it. And he's watching his boy have to come back from an ACL. I mean, I think Travis Kelce's wired the way as a good, like a good bro, like a good buddy, and a dude that just loves football to say, man, I'm not going to leave my boy Pat hanging like that, coming off an ACL injury. I'll come help him out another year. Like I could totally see it. I think in the same breath,
the ACL injury makes it harder for him to come back because like it's not all right, we got one more year. Let's go kill this thing. And it's like, you're going to have to convince him that there may be a month where you're not playing with Patrick Mahomes, which he's never done before.
And that month was like the last month of this season, which wasn't very fun, right?
Exactly.
I agree. So that's what I mean. The time here is the key. There will be enough time. I also think Mahomes is going to recover from this well because it fits his DNA to do it. So if you've got an extra month, and really it'll be about 2.5 months to look at this, to talk to Mahomes, to spend time in the offseason, to totally step away from everything, right? Just like if you're Kelce, you have to get away from all of it as much as you can. You got to step back and just try to be content watching the games on TV, knowing you're not participating, and see if you like that. See if you like how that feels, right? Take physical inventory of how you feel. If you're comfortable with it and you're like, you know what, this ain't so bad, sitting around drinking beer, eating chicken wings, and, not having to worry about my body all the time and do all that stuff, then yeah, maybe it's like this time has helped me understand that I'm ready for the next chapter of my life. But if you're sitting there at the same time thinking, God dang it, we should have been playing in these games. Like this should be us right now. Like that's the thing that never goes away. Like you're never going to satisfy that.
This is the first time since what? 2019 that he will have playoff games to watch outside of a Super Bowl, right? Like he's been in the AFC Championship every year the last 7 years, is that right?
Yeah. And he's been in the playoffs every year. Right? He's been in the playoffs every year of his career. 2015 was that was the year, that was the last, so all but one.
Yeah.
Right? Is that right? Yeah. All but 1 year
15.
they've been in the playoffs. Mahomes took over in 2018. Kelsey had 3 years before Mahomes with Alex Smith. I think Now, did they make it in 2015? When was the last time? 2014. He's been in the playoffs every year, right?
He missed it once.
Okay.
I know he missed it once. It was either 14 or 15. I can't remember, but he missed it once.
Or is that just the division titles? I don't remember. Either way, like he's not used to this. That's a lifetime ago. He doesn't remember what that feels like. But like it's, again, it would be different if he wasn't good at football anymore, too. And that's not the case either. He's still very good at football, in my opinion. I don't think it's his fault that the Chiefs have relied on him too much in the last 2 or maybe even 3 years. I think it's a product of him still being good at football and them not knowing what else to do. Or maybe it's Mahomes not knowing what else to do, which again, Mahomes is about to have to do 2 things at once then, play without his boy Kelsey and come off an ACL injury. That's true. I can't, I always, like when we're in these situations, I don't know if you do that. I try to put myself in that, I try to put myself in there. If I was Kelsey and I was obviously everything's the same and it's just me. Yeah, I might be inclined. Like Mahomes, that's my best friend. I mean, I think we think that they're best friends. They're at least good friends. He's going to have a lot on his plate next year. Boy, I could help him out 1 year. And I kind of still love doing this. Like that's what I try to do when you're going through this. He's only 36 years old.
I don't know. I mean, I get the sentiment of that, but like, it's not something of like, I'll come back and help out for a month. It's like you're signing up to go get beat up on,
which is what he's talking about there.
19 or 20, and like that's the thing that Tom. Commitment. I don't know if you heard this. Tom Brady talking about this whenever the Phillip Rivers thing happened. Somebody asked him on the Fox set, like, could you come back and play? And he said, I could come back and just whoop up on everybody for a 3-week stretch, but I cannot do it for an 18-week stretch. Like, there's no way I could last that long. So, that's the biggest thing. And I guarantee that's the one thing that he's thinking about is that, like, he's going to miss playing for sure. And he'll miss that first month like no other. But then by the time it gets to January and it's freezing cold and your body it feels awful. Like, that's the part that's going to be coming onto his brain about like, I don't know if I can do that again, man.
I get, and that's what he's saying too. I've got to decide if I can make an 18 or 20 week run at this. I totally, that is what he's, and it's what he should be thinking about, right? I think he could do it. He could do it at a high level. Does he want to? Is doing it at a level equivalent to this year enough to scratch the itch? I think is another good question. Like, are you able to put in that much work and energy and be option 3 or 4 in the offense? Is that worth it to you? Are you wired to be able to do that? Are you wired to know that if you're going to make it 20 weeks into the season, Andy Reid's going to have to only let you play 60% of the snaps? Can you handle that mentally? Not just physically, but like, can you deal with all that? I think all that stuff, but he's got 3 months to think about it. And if he wanted to retire, he could do that now. That's the other thing that keeps, like, the longer this goes, like, if retirement was the obvious option that some people want to think it is, he would do that now. He could just be like, I'm done.
The other part of that, though, is that this was a question somebody asked him about. I think Sam McDowell asked about this, that like the last season, Andy Reid made a point to be like, go home for a month and like, don't make a decision next week, because especially in the Super Bowl, like you lose in the Super Bowl, if you wait 5 days, you're gonna be like, I'm coming back, man. I'm coming back. But if you wait a month, like, and that's what he's going to be doing here. He's going to be sitting, and to your point, he's going to sit and watch the playoffs and have the perfect opportunity to decide. Like, remove yourself from the season and don't make a decision based on, man, that sucks, I got to come back. Like, make a decision based on, do you want to play another year?
100%. Like, do you want to?
So that's what I think. I can't imagine. I don't know. I think that we'll get a decision right around Super Bowl time.
That'd be 3-4 weeks. It's going to take a second, but yeah, watch these games. Be at home. Go be a boyfriend or a fiance. Like, go be a podcast host and a fiance and sit around and watch these games and just see if you're good with that. See if you're comfortable with that, because the reality is most players don't get the choice of retirement. They're forced to retire because they're either not good enough or their body won't let them play anymore. Neither of those things are the case for Kelsey. So he's still good enough. His body appears to be good enough. Now, can it, that's what he's got to figure out. And only he knows that. But at least physically, while he's out there playing, he looks like he's fine. So, like, those are the things that force most people to retire. He's only 36. He's got a lot going on for him off the field. But that stuff's always there. That stuff nothing changes about that if he plays another year of football. Nothing does. He's still going to marry Taylor Swift, and he's still going to be a movie star when he's done playing football. Like, not going to change anything. I think that we're getting a real evaluation. Like, I think there's a large group of people that just assumed it's going to happen, and I think it's too early for that. I don't think, just like we used to do with Andy Reid. Like, Andy Reid's not as old as you think he is, A, and B, he loves this as much as he loves anything. So why would you walk away from it unless you have to?
I'm torn between two, like the two storylines of it being like the old man Chiefs are going to try one more time. Like,
that's what they can't let happen, right?
I mean, that's what
if Kelsey comes back, it doesn't have to be that way. That's what the job of the front office is, to put less on Kelsey. That doesn't mean there's still not a better team with Kelsey out there. It just means somebody else step the hell up.
What's Chris Jones' contract like? Does he have? He's coming up, isn't he?
2 more years, I think.
So next year and the year after?
I think so.
Okay,
I don't know what the option years are.
People were talking about when Chris Jones' timer is coming up, because he's getting up there as well. And it's just like that's the storyline that I keep clinging to a little bit. If he does come back, is that like it would be the one last ride for Kelsey and Jones,
I think they get there out after next year.
So I mean,
it's a good pivot point. If Kelsey comes back, it doesn't have to be run it back. They got the number 9 overall pick.
Yeah, I don't think it's so much as like it won't be. It can't be as run it back as it was this year. It's impossible to be.
Well, but like contractually, it won't be.
There will be. I'm saying the fact of like there is a storyline that exists to where it is him saying like me and Chris Jones and Mahomes and Kareem Hunt and like that new like next year could be the last time. But like I'm saying, next year could be the last. And there was speculation this year. Next year could be the last time that we see Kareem Hunt, Travis Kelce, and Chris Jones in a Chiefs uniform.
I don't think you're seing Kareem Hunt next year.
I think so. I think he's coming back.
Maybe in a small role. I think that all the things that we've said about how the Chiefs need to attack this offseason don't have to change at all, right? If Travis Kelce comes back. They still need to lean into their offensive line. They still need to run the ball more. They still need these wide receivers to live up to their draft position. They're going to have to replace a lot of key pieces on the defense. None of that changes. And if Kelce comes back, he just is another option for them. He just can't be the top option or the second option anymore. Chris Jones needs help on the defensive line. It can't just be all Chris Jones. That has nothing to do with those players individually. That has everything to do with Brett Veach's job now. That's Brett Veach's job and Andy Reid's job to fix. That's what are we worried about? I just like these are good players that can help them be better. It's not their fault that that the team is not been capable of letting go of what was 3 or 4 years ago. We don't have that conversation about like that with Patrick Mahomes. They're all good players. They can all exist in different ways.
I don't know. That's interesting. It's gonna be such an interesting offseason. Like I saw somebody, I don't know who it was, some mock draft said they were going to take the Oregon tight end at 9. No. I was like, well, that's not going to happen.
I don't think they would either way. I mean, maybe, but old Texas Tech man on X or on YouTube who chimes in from time to time, says David Bailey out of Tech. That makes some sense.
What a crossover episode that we've got. Old man Texas Tech. We might draft the Texas Tech Red Raider.
Yeah, his Red Raiders are, boy, if they really are, we talked about it yesterday, they're really spending the kind of money that's being thrown out there. They got the top defensive lineman in the country yesterday. I don't know if you saw that, out of Wake Forest. They added another piece. So now, top defensive lineman, probably the top 2 defensive players in the portal between Austin Romaine and this dude out of Wake Forest, and then the top offensive player by some people's accounts in Sorsby. Like they're doing it again, and good for them. Good for them, I guess. It's good for the Big 12. I'll say that. I love it for the Big 12, and they're going to put the pressure on other people to do it. But yeah, look, the Chiefs have, first and foremost, they got to hit on a pick. You got to get it. You're not getting in the top 10 very often with Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback. Got to make it count. Yeah. When was the last time they had a top 10 pick? Have they had one since Eric Fisher?
Nope. That's the one.
So, that's how long it takes when you've got a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes. The floor of a great quarterback in the NFL is staggering. You don't get this opportunity very often. You have to get it right. You can't screw it up. Don't reach. Don't take a position of need. Don't do any of that junk. Just take the absolute best player on the board. Or trade.
I saw the stat of the playoff picture. 12 of the 14 teams have a first-round quarterback. And the 2 that aren't are Brock Purdy and Jalen Hurts. And so it's if you have a good quarterback, you can make the playoff.
Tale as old as time. You're just not going to be good in this league without a good quarterback. It does not happen. All right, we'll come back. Shreyas Laddha with us next. We'll revisit a wild night in Lawrence as KU gets an overtime win over TCU. That's next.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
8310 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems
Why are they hiding it?
and real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
KFH.
And now, digging deeper with the teams you follow, it's another Sports Daily Insider interview on KFH.
That insider joining us now, Shreyas Laddha, KU beat reporter for the KC Star at SHRE98 on X. Follow along all the KU fun with Shreyas on the beat. Shreyas, I always appreciate your questions as I'm listening back to the news conferences there in Lawrence, asking the people's questions. What'd you make of last night? The range of opinions is wide on this one. But what are your immediate hot takeaways out after that game?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a disaster averted, right? You know, they go in, they escape with a win. They're down 15 with under 5 to go. Really gritty, good win. Especially because they really were playing horrible defense in the second half. I think they let TCU score 64% from the field and like 66% from three. Honestly, Kansas had no business winning that game. TCU, a mix of KU's defense, kind of clamming up in the last few minutes of the game. And on top of that, TCU choking the game. Too many game times where they just, I don't know, they couldn't inbound the ball. It was bad. Kansas avoided doing something it hadn't done since 1982-83, which is lose the first 2 league games, which is, I think, a big deal to avoid that. Peterson played, I think, really good, for the 32 minutes he played. And I think he could have been much better, even though he didn't shoot the ball well. He, got to the line a lot, 15 free throws, made 13 of them. Just kind of a special talent. And obviously he didn't play overtime, but those 5 seconds that he did play at the end of the game there turned out to be pivotal, and he knocked down those free throws.
It's there's a little bit of irony tucked away, is that it's the first time that Darren Peterson finished a game in regulation and then didn't finish the actual game because there was overtime to cap on the end of that. But I was wondering, it's something I asked Jacob, for you who was in Allen Fieldhouse last night, was it in your mind that he could have come back in the game? Was it something to where it was just kind of like looking over there? It's like, are they going to put him in? Or is he done? What's going to happen here?
I mean, I know when it got closer, I kept on thinking about it of like, is he going to come back? Is he not going to come back? And if you're a competitor, which clearly Peterson is, you want to be out there in those moments, right? Especially in that last possession where you're 5 seconds left and everyone knows it should be Peterson taking that shot. It was interesting. Bill Self said afterwards that he didn't ask him, if he wants to come back or not. He just put him back in for 5 seconds, which to me tells you like where things are at. But also I think it was interesting. I think Bill said, he didn't say this in the press conference, but I think Peterson wanted to come back in, even if it were just 5 seconds. He left the game because he had the onset of cramps again. That's what Bill said. And he was feeling it even when shooting free throws. So the minute after he shot free throws, he asked Bill to take him out of the game.
What does that look like? Do we know? We saw the wraps on the legs, which is a little bit different. But do you think there's just like a working understanding of like, that's it? Like Peterson will just say, I got to come out now. I mean, that it feels like that's what it is. Like he goes until he feels it. And then he's like, I got to come out now. Sometimes in the middle of a play that the optics on are really, really bad, but for whatever reason, are they just trusting Peterson completely to let him know?
I think a little bit of that, but also like just seeing how he looks, right? In the sense of like, is he moving with the same burst? Because I think in the first half, his burst is the best it's looked since he's been at KU, right? That's why he could get to the line. He wasn't settled for jump shots. He was getting to the free throw line. And he did his good thing in that second half. But I think that's like the balance KU has right now of like figuring out how much they can let him play. And I think Bill is trying to figure that out too. Like, what's the sweet spot of numbers or minutes? I don't know if there is one. I think it might just come down to, okay, well, Peterson's going to have to tell us when he's hurt or feeling it, and then we'll take him out. But we're going to use him as much as we can until it gets to that point.
Shreyas, this is something that you've talked about a lot. And last night, because obviously the play where the ball goes behind his head and goes out of band, like, KU people, like, just a groan. It's just like that's the epitome of the situation. And so I get on social media, I look up Darren Peterson to see what people are saying about this topic. And all I see is a bunch of NBA draft guys saying, can you believe how good Darren Peterson is? Like, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Like, nobody outside of the state of Kansas seems to care about this.
Yeah, and you're right. I'm going to have a story about this. I talked to my draft guy, and nobody really cares. They still have number one on their board. A lot of these people, scouts, etc., have had Peterson with a comfortable edge coming into the season because they've seen him play basketball at full strength. Jeremy Wu, my guy from ESPN that I talked to, I talked to him a lot about draft stuff. And he was like, yeah, Peterson has an edge compared to Bonza and Boozer coming into the season because I've seen him play, full strength. He's like, I'm not super worried until it becomes like a debilitating condition. And I think that's kind of the NBA's viewpoint. Until it affects them, they're kind of like, it's obviously everyone wants to watch him play because when we were at the UCF game, there was like 20 plus scouts. And let's be honest, they weren't coming to watch anybody but Peterson on that floor, right? Like real consideration to be a lottery pick. The only person was Peterson on the floor. So obviously, optic-wise, it's not a great look that he can't finish basketball games. But also, the NBA is enamored with talent and potential. And clearly, Peterson, even when he can't play fully health, is a very talented basketball player. Like, the fact that he dropped 32 points in 32 minutes when he clearly could not play a full game, to me, is impressive. Unfortunately for Kansas fans, his draft stock is not as dependent on him playing or not as everyone thinks. He's still going to be at worst a top 3 pick, even if Cam Boozer and Bonza have years of their lives and somehow get ahead of him. But the reality of this situation is, if you're looking at Cam Boozer, you're looking at Bonza and Peterson is putting up numbers at an insane rate. I think I saw the other day or yesterday, he has 132 points in 159 minutes. Like, how are you going to sit there and not draft him number 1 overall if he's doing that while not fully healthy? Like, I mean, I can't blame NBA teams.
Mm-hmm. I think that they can live totally separately from each other. Like, I guess I'm not as interested yet in Peterson's NBA draft stock. I'll be interested in that on, April 10th or whatever. I'm more interested in him as a college player, which he's very clearly interested in being right now. Like, he's playing through an injury. He doesn't have to play through. Like, he didn't have to do any of this. So I definitely don't fall in the camp of KU's better without him or KU should shut him down. I think that's crazy talk. I think KU, and this is what Bill Self has said, has to figure out how to be really good with and without him. We've seen it, right? We've seen it at times. We've seen him be really good without him. We've seen him be really good with him. How do you do that within a singular game? How does Melvin Council turn it off and on? But here's what I would say, and I'm really curious to get your take on this. Does he need to turn it off and on? Why can't Melvin Council just be great at the same time Darren Peterson's great?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out, to be honest with you. Because, I mean, I don't think Peterson, like the UCF game, he was as ball dominant as he was. You know, like I thought he was a lot better of getting his teammates involved in this game, like passing the ball. The UCF game was probably the worst game in my mind of how Peterson's looked. Like people will point out the 23 points, but he just felt like he was just dominating ball touches, taking too many shots. Like obviously Melvin Council had foul trouble and Flory had foul trouble. But to me, the ideal version of this team is, obviously Peterson taking the most shots, but also Council and Trey White, are there to bail him out when he can't get a shot off and are there to be aggressive when Peterson needs a breather and stuff like that. I'm not quite sure why Melvin is still figuring it out. I think, obviously he knows what Peterson is and what he represents. And he knows if he's going to make the league, it's going to be as a role player. So for him, I'm sure it's a different proposition than where he was at St. Bonaventure, where he was the Darren Peterson of their team, and he was taking a ton of shots and he was doing a ton of stuff. I think it's easier for him to play the role of like option one, I think, because he's so used to it. And when Peterson is out for an extended period of time, I think he knows, and I asked him this after the press conference, of like he just kind of knows when it's go time, but also his teammates and his coaching staff is telling him like, hey, it's time to go.
That's right. And you hear all the barks around Allen Fieldhouse. Jacob, I don't know if you're aware of the bark trend or not. We can talk about that off the air. It's a big deal. It's cool. This is a conversation we had yesterday, Shreyas, is obviously it feels like it's Groundhog Day. We've had this conversation before, but this week is so significant because he hadn't played in 3 weeks before this week. And we see it happen on Saturday. We see it happen again last night. Do you think there's a world where he will play a 36, 37, 38, 39-minute game in March? Or is this just reality? I mean, where is your level of optimism on this?
I mean, I think eventually, yeah, right? Like, it's going to be just managing and figuring out a way to, like, alleviate the cramps or alleviate most of the pressure. He played 32 yesterday, right? So I presume that he's going to play 36 sometime in March because he's going to be forced to play 36 sometime in March. Like, I don't know if he'll be fully healthy for that. I hope he will because I'm kind of tired of this entire saga. I just want to watch him play basketball. But, I think they're going to have a point where they're going to need him to play 36 minutes. And if he's not playing 36 minutes in March, I don't want to see what Twitter is going to look like after that because people are mad online.
If the play that happened last night where the ball goes behind his head happened in the round of 32, people would light Allen Fieldhouse on fire.
Yeah, I mean, and look, I don't blame Kansas fans for being mad. I'm a third-party observer who just wants to watch good basketball and is tired of asking the same press conference questions week in, week out. And I just want to watch him play or figure out if he's not playing or just tell me if he's just playing X minutes a game so I know what to expect. The messaging for this thing has changed like 15 million different times. And I think fans are frustrated. And we haven't talked to Peterson since like November, whatever. Like after
that part is a freshman. Nobody's talking about that part.
Like fans are expecting too much. Like
okay, but
because everybody's confused by it. Bill
I disagree. I disagree. They're expecting. He's being paid $6 million a year. We can get him in front of a mic. This is
Peterson. You're talking about Peterson. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, don't be surprised that they're not putting a freshman in. Like, should he be? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But is it unusual that he's not now?
No, I think they're just protecting him with the injury because they didn't let Kevin talk to us even when Kevin had the injury.
It's a weird because like in the NFL you can't talk to injured players. That's just part of it. It's just weird. Is it like
he's live streaming in the locker room on social media?
Is he an injured player?
But this is what I'm saying. The only person he's going to talk to at this rate is the NBA scouts and NBA teams when they ask him about this injury, and they're the only one who's going to know what the hell really happened and what didn't happen, or whatever the camp's version of happened and didn't happen. And I think I've seen a lot of KU fans frustrated that media is not able to talk to Peterson. So the only thing you can do is poke and prod at Bill Self, and Bill Self has been not the best, at having the message on board.
He's having fun with it at this point. He's just messing with everybody. Real quick, Shreyas, all of this talk in Peterson, the problem last night had nothing to do with Peterson. The defense looked like crap.
Yeah.
Why? Where did that come from? Why is this a thing now in the Big 12?
Yeah, I don't know. The defensive effort wasn't great to me. They were getting pretty lazy on screens.
Yeah.
I felt like they had too many guys left wide open to take threes. TCU is not a great offensive team, so that worries me a little bit because Bill called out the defense after the UCF game. They looked good for half and then just completely collapsed in the second half.
That's what they've got to figure out. All right, Shreyas, we appreciate it. Go find Shreyas. He's on it. He's all over it.
Hey, they hired Andy Kudlnicki by the way. We didn't talk about that at all.
Football's still a thing too. Shreyas, we appreciate it. We'll talk next week.
Thanks, guys.
We'll come right back. More Sports Daily. Don't go away.